Bom dia. We're going to go through some berimbau arming, playing, Toki variations, and disarming and care and feeding for your berimbau. Take out your berimbau that has been properly stowed away, and to arm your berimbau, you take out the little knot, unwrap the bow, hold it onto the top of the wire so you don't bend the top of the wire. Let it unwind. You want to make sure that the top of the wire is over the top of the coroa, the crown of the berimbau. Get a one-arm wrap on the corda, one-hand wrap on the corda rather. And you make your feet to a little T, a little L. Stick the peg of the berimbau into one foot, into your opposite leg. So you're going to use opposite arm from the knee that goes into the berimbau. Put your knee down. Are the transitions working alright? Okay. Put your knee into the berimbau. Hold onto the top of the coroa like this with your hand. You want to cup your hand so that the wire can run smoothly over the top of the bow without grabbing on your hand. So you cup, hold the berimbau, do not pull, avoid pulling. Stand there, and then you want to sit with your knee bent into the bottom part of the berimbau. So you're putting the bend into the bottom third of the bow. You bend down, pulling with your opposite hand that's got the coroa. Check to make sure it's running over the top of the berimbau. Give it a turn. Switch hand, turn, switch, turn. And as you're doing this, your opposite hand is progressing down each turn. Take the little foot that's at the bottom of the wire and make that bite into the bow. Turn around. Can you zoom in here? You want to take the cord, wrap it over the foot. Okay, you're going to wrap it over that to lock it down, and then hand, and just get it till it's about 7-8 inches of cord at the end. Take that around, and you'll tuck that through and make a half hitch. Pull that through like this. Cinch that down. Hand here, and then crank on it. And that locks the knot in place. Remove your leg. You want the berimbau to be one palm's width across, more or less. More or less. You want to bring the berimbau in now? I'm going to be sitting from now on. Turn around so I can see. Okay, now we're going to attach the berimbau, or the verga, stick to the cabasa, or the gourd. Through the top of the cabasa we have run a cord. It's called the anel. And the anel you want more or less equivalent of 2 fingers width. You don't want 3. 3's too much. Okay? You want more or less 2 fingers. Okay? And that's going to be about the width, the diameter of the berimbau. So you take in one hand, run it through the hole, get it to where it's a little tight, grab up on top of the berimbau and squeeze like this and slide the cabasa. Okay? And you want the distance between the bottom peg and where you're going to set the cabasa for the berimbau to be more or less 1 palm distance. Okay? The width between your pinky and your hand right there, or 1 palm like this, more or less. Okay? It's going to depend on the tone of the berimbau, and you'll notice that the width of this, alright, you don't want it to be out here, this distance, to be out here too much, okay? So it should be a little bit wider than your palm. This may be a little narrow, but for very new berimbaus, this is very typical, okay? It'll be about this strung up. So you don't want it to be more than like that, okay? Because it makes the berimbau a little bit unbalanced. And for this particular type of wood that we're using, to string it up too far and make that big crazy bend, will injure the fibers of the wood. So we want to be careful of that. In your opposite hand, you're holding the berimbau with your pinky. Now you'll notice the distance with the anel right here is just a little more than 1 finger width. Right? That allows the pinky to come in and grab. You can see this. Pinky grabs onto one side of the anel. 2 fingers in the middle grab onto the berimbau to hold. And then it allows the thumb, which is on the inside, to be able to move free and articulate on the hand. Okay? We take a rock, pedra, also called a moeda, or vintém. Vintém and moeda are just generic titles for coin, or words for coin. The opposite hand, hold your kashishi and the baqueta. The baqueta, you want to hold your kashishi in your palm like this, okay? You don't want to turn your hand like this. This is a very important part of it, so we're going to spend a moment and look at the hand. With your hand, you'll see how it's holding to my body. I want to hold the baqueta so it's at 90 degrees to the floor, okay? So this is vertical. You want to hold it so it's horizontal, okay? So you also want to hold it so it's 90 degrees from the berimbau. So right from my side, you don't want to hold your hand in here and hit it diagonally. You want the hand to be a little bit farther than the other hand so that you're hitting at 90 degrees with the berimbau, if you can see this correctly. Alright, so when you strike the baqueta more or less horizontally, okay, you're striking at 90 degrees and 90 degrees, okay? So you want to avoid pulling your hand in here, alright, and you want to avoid dropping your hand down like this and pulled in. You get very poor tonal quality with the berimbau. Alright, this maximizes the force of the hit. 90 degrees to the floor, 90 degrees to the berimbau. Okay. The next is the places where you're going to place the baqueta. For the low tone, you want the baqueta to strike right over this knuckle, okay, which is about equal to 1.5 inches to 2 inches over the top of the anel, right over that pinky finger, or the third finger of your hand. That's where you want to strike. When you fret with the moeda, you press in. You want to strike the equivalent distance, all right, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches above the rock. So the motions of my hands with the baqueta, this whole arm, I want to avoid this motion, right, holding the big shoulder. You can see how my shoulder is rotating. I want to avoid that because I will tire my shoulders out. I want to avoid excess using of my elbow, and moving my elbow up and down, because that'll tire my arm out if I'm playing berimbau for a long time. Most of the control for this hand comes from the wrist, and it's a pop. Okay, you see how my bicep pops up as I twist, and the bones of my arm, of my forearm, rotate around like this. Okay, like this. So you really want to see how I can get a horizontal draw across by accenting my wrist with a little bit of elbow play. Right. You can see how the bicep of my arm goes up and down as I'm doing this. This allows me to play without fatiguing my arm, without fatiguing my shoulder, elbow. Okay. For the buzz note that is right between the low tone and the high tone, you want to strike just at or slightly above the rock. Okay? Moeda. Right now I'm being soft with the kashishi just so you can see specifically what I'm doing, but later on you want a full pop of the kashishi with your wrist and hand. Okay? So you see how I'm using my wrist? I have the palm of my hands more or less facing up and rotating across this way. Okay. So to progress with playing a basic Toki, the bass Toki in Capoeira Angola is called the Toki Angola. And to commence the playing the berimbau for the roda de Capoeira Angola, it's 7 strikes on a low tone for our school, for our tradition. Okay, it goes like this. Start over again with that real quick. 7 tones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you progress and keeping the tempo. The whole progression goes like this. Berimbau would, in the bateria, would progressively start. So you start on the So what I'll do is I'll sing the Toki Angola with my voice, and then I'm gonna enter in with the berimbau, so you can see how the progressive berimbaus enter in with the when they're playing in the bateria. So if I'm singing it with my mouth real quick, I go don 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 ding don ding don don ding don ding don ding. So do that again, and this time I'll keep singing. Don 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 ding don ding don don ding don ding. So each berimbau would then progress. Don 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 don, and that fits so that each new berimbau fits in the Tokis. Now we're going to explore how to make some really good strong tones. We've hit the berimbau correctly in the right place. We're striking. So if we have the right hand placement, the distance between your hand and the instrument should be about this distance. Okay, about like this. So you don't want to be in too close. You don't want to be in too far, otherwise you're going to do this, or you'll spin and the baqueta will shoot out of your hand into the roda, and it'll poke some little kid in the eye, so watch out. Alright? So you want to strike this rotates. Berimbau starts off away from your belly. You see where I'm striking now? I'm being very specific about where I strike with the berimbau. What I'm going through right now are some very fairly traditional variations on the Toki de Angola. So I'll break those down really quick. Really a very simple one is don ding don ding these variations can plug into one another as long as you're keeping the tempo and you're holding together with the berimbau, you're holding the rhythm together. You can chain the variations together for more elaborate playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain some of those basic variations that I just did together so you can hear that. So I know that you lean closer to the screen to hear and see some of the variations I was doing there. So I'm going to give you a little secret. There's a little tiny half buzz that you can do. The buzz is called a tremolo. Alright? A treble. Tremolo in Portuguese. See what I'm doing with my hand there? I'm touching and interjecting the rock against the wire between the full tones. Oops. So you can hear between to get that kind of a half skip. Okay, so I'm going to break down a couple more variations. I'm letting the speed go up and down as I'm trying to accent for you so you can see it clearer, but I'll try to stay more consistent now. Did I say that this was professional? No. There's a slightly more sophisticated variation on how to use the kashishi and vaqueta hand when you're playing all the tokis, and I'm going to give that to you right now. And that play is this. I'm going to turn a little bit to the diagonal so you can catch this. It goes like this. Well, this is the normal. We're familiar. It's two buzzes, right? This a little more complex one is to go like this. Okay, moving on. Next Toki, Sao Bento Pequeno. Sao Bento Pequeno is a rhythmic inversion of Angola. You have, for Angola, tom-ting, tom-ting. Sao Bento Pequeno, for us, is just basically you just turn those two tones around and you have this. Then you do all of the variations, basically in reverse. Start off with the berimbau again. Bento pequeno, okay? Just bento grande. Find that the games tend to speed up. The Toki tends to grab a little more energy, and the pace can quicken with the music. So you want to be able to train to be able to play at progressively faster rates. So you want to really get dexterous with the instrument. There's let's say a myth that Capoeira Angola music is always slow, that the games are slow all the time, and it's just not true. Some of the fastest music out there can be Capoeira Angola music, in rodas, all over the place. So that's kind of a myth, and you need to learn how to be dexterous and play at all speeds. So I'm going to play bento pequeno, or bento grande a little faster right now. Stop it. Alright, gang. I'm going to run you through a few of the Toki. Very basic stuff, okay? And understand that there are elaborations and variations above and beyond what I'm going to offer you here. But this is just some very simple basics, and I'll try to keep it just to the basics, alright? So another Toki, and I'll try to give you the games that go along with these Tokis. Another Toki is, for instance, Santa Maria. Santa Maria is 2 low tones and a high tone played in a specific sequence. It goes like this. Dun, dun, ding. Oop. There it is. So that last variation is the one that I want you to stick to and play with. It goes like this. Santa Maria, dong, ding, dong, dong, ding, don ding don ding don ding don ding. Okay. That's the chord. The next one is Bangela that I'm going to pick out. And the difference between these two Tokis, the Santa Maria and the Bangela, is they're similar, and it's easy to get them confused. It goes, the basic Toki organization is, okay, so ding, dong, ding, okay, and then it goes around, the cycle continues for the measure. Basic, nothing too fancy. Next thing on our list, I'm going to check my list. Dun 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 dun. Chico Chico. Chico Chico is often mixed up with what's commonly considered to be Santa Maria, but out there. And the basic component to constructing this Toki goes like this. Okay, don 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 din 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 don, more or less, and then the variations are elaborated from there. So we've got down, 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 up, 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 down. Okay, and then you can play all kinds of variations with that as a theme. More or less, just basics. There's lots more permutations to this. I'm just trying to give you something to play with. So that's the basics for you, and it just goes. What I'm doing with my body, I'm going to turn sideways. You can see the cabasa here. Okay, so it goes. Okay, two low tones. and that's held close to my belly. So. Zhezhe is not played with its own game. It's generally a variation that you can throw in on top of games, bento grande most often, but it sounds good all over the place. It's a beautiful game. It tends to be very inciting. It incites a lot of energy and verve into the games. So if you're playing bento grande, for instance, you'd go on top of that ding dong dong ding dong dong, right? So you've got that going. Would you sing that for me? Ding dong dong,
ding dong dong, ding dong
dong
ding dong dong,
dong
ding dong dong, ding dong dong
ding dong ding dong
ding dong dong,
dong ding dong
ding dong dong,
ding dong ding dong
ding dong dong,
ding ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong
ding dong dong, ding dong dong, ding dong dong,
ding dong ding dong. So I'm gonna play the berimbau. I'm gonna have Cupido here sing that again for me, and then I'm gonna jump in with the berimbau and play on top. It's a very complex Toki. Again, has more permutations than I'm going to give you right now, but I'm going to give you just the basics, okay? Sing for me.
Dong 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 dong, ding 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 dong dong. Ding dong dong, 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 ding dong dong. Ding dong dong, ding dong dong, ding dong dong, ding dong dong.
Basics for Zhezhe, okay? And on that note, we're gonna wrap this up. Thus ends this little episode of giving you a little bit of berimbau basics, super basics, something to start off with. To disarm your berimbau, you want to reverse the progression in which you armed it. So you come and put your hand down here, squeeze, put the cabasa against your abdomen, pull it off, pull the stick out. The last thing you want to do is be pulling the cabasa down and then drop it on the ground, okay? Crash. So, drop the verga down. You want to stand up, reverse the same foot position and knee, put the knee in there, hold the top of the berimbau. Okay, so you have your body down here in position. You have your hand here. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold the berimbau, no pulling, just hold and brace. Drop your weight down so that you get, if you can zoom in right here real quick, on my hand. Okay, so look at this. I zoom in and the wire goes slack. Okay, see how the wire comes slack? And I unloop the top like that. I stick my thumb right in there. I want to hold this curvature of this wire, because if it bends back and forth, it can break the crystal structure of the wire, and that'll make your wire wear out a lot sooner. So now I just hold it like this, okay? I go down to the rest of the corda, I grab hold of that, and I'm going to break the lock that I put on it earlier. I give it a little twist, I break that, unwind it, till it's a little bit looser, and then I unpull the half hitch that I put in there. Just go up to the right to the top and pull. It'll all unwind in your hand. Unwind it, being very cautious of this bend. You then take the wire gently, place it back over the top of the coroa in the groove. Now this is for storage and for transport of your berimbau, okay? You want to hold on to that bend. Now, once you've got this, hold on to the wire and just turn the berimbau around and let the thing wrap around, and what you're doing is you're securing the wire all the way down the bow to hold on there, okay? You get it to it's about 8 or 9 inches. You drop it through and do a half hitch, so you've done almost the exact same thing when you're arming Saved by the Bell.
Hello.
So you've done exactly the same thing as when you're arming the berimbau for transport and storage, and you've secured this wire so that it won't come off the top. Right? And now you can carry this and stack it away and put it up or put it in a berimbau bag, and you can travel with this. If you're going to do extensive traveling or shipping your berimbau or bringing it on an airplane, unwrap the entire cord, wrap it up, and tie it together so that the cord is stable in a little loop, and then you can transport your berimbau in a bag or in a container of some sort. You don't want to have the wire on there too much, or you damage it and get banged around. If you're walking with your berimbau down the street, let's say it's fully armed again, we'll just assume it is, and you're walking and the cabasa is on there, if you're just like changing locations for your roda, so you say you've got your cabasa on here like this, you don't want to walk around with the berimbau like that with the cabasa down. So for any reason, if this has worked its way loose, it can pop off and drop, so you want to avoid that. Best way to do this is to walk with the cabasa up like this in front of your body, so that you won't hit it with your feet as you're walking, and you can pay attention so that the cabasa doesn't get kicked with people from behind. So always walk with your berimbau like this if you're progressing from one place to another. Do take care of your berimbau and disarm it when you're not using it. If you're going to have it laying down for a little while, but you're still going to plan on using it at that session, that roda or whatever, that afternoon that you're playing, leave it strung up, that's fine. But if you're going to leave it overnight, disarm your berimbau, okay? Take it down, disarm it as I showed you, and put the wire away, and that way you'll be taking care of your instrument and it'll last you a lot longer.